Welcome back. Today we are continuing this astrology series. So if you haven't watched the first video on what a natal chart is, I would recommend you go back and check that out at some point. There is a playlist on my astrology channel that is called Astrology, and you'll see all the videos there. And it'll make a lot more sense if there's certain things that I'm referencing from that past video. So today we're going to talk about how astrology can benefit and help you improve your relationships, not only your personal romantic relationships, but also the ones with anybody else, with your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, anybody who you want to really create a bond with or see how you can improve your connection with them. And first, we're going to talk about the romantic partners and kind of what we look for. Because I remember as a younger adult, I used to look at those compatibility charts, and I don't know if anybody else has. I would love to know in the comments if you often looked at those. But it would say something like Virgos are compatible with Pisces, I think. And it would create this idea that any Virgo with any Pisces sun sign would have a perfect relationship, right? So astrology, like we talked about in the other video, shows that we have all of the signs in a unique kind of mixture that makes us unique. And likewise, our partners or potential partners will have a mix as well. And so with astrology, I often get asked if you can see compatibility or who your soulmate is. And the answer is no. Yes and no. Because what astrology does is even better. At the end of the day, like I mentioned in the other video, we have free will. So you can make anything work, and there is no just completely positive or negative to any sign or anything. And that's what I will explain a little bit more of today. What the astrology chart will show you, though, is if you get, there's a thing called a synastry chart. And what this means is you would get your chart, your wheel that has all the planets and all the signs that make you uniquely you, and you would compare, like basically plotting on top of that chart, the one of your partner or friend or family or whoever you want to compare these traits with. And so this system, it will show you what your strengths and weaknesses would be, where there's areas of challenges, where there's areas that will be smooth sailing, and just basically how your personal planets and the energy that you were born with will interact with those of the person that you're comparing your chart with. So it might seem a little bit complicated, and it is, but it is pretty cool. I just basically with this video want to help explain how we can use these charts to our benefit in all areas of our life. So what we want to look for in these synastry charts is a healthy balance between the challenging angles within your charts and the ones that are smooth sailing. Because, like I said, there's no completely positive or completely negative. A chart comparison that shows everything is just peachy perfect, might seem like what you want, just everything flowing smoothly. But at the end of the day, a partnership and a relationship, you do want some type of challenge that's going to help you grow. And so if you see just everything is running smoothly, it might be more of a friendship. And on the other side, if it's all completely red, there is challenges, lots of growth, but it might create more, there might be a lot more work to do in a relationship like that. So it's just a healthy balance, but you can still make anything work. And with these charts, it'll help you understand why there's a clash. If your planet of communication, Mercury, is having some conflicting or conflicting angle with the way your partner loves, which is the planet of Venus, then there's some ways that you can show the high sides of your chart and their chart and just see how you can work with it to make it work. And also the awareness, like we talked about in most of my videos, the awareness is key, because that way it's not something that you're just letting your unconscious and just everything run around without knowing what to do and feeling like you don't really have control over how you act and what you say and what you do. You know, you are aware of your chart, your partner's chart, and how those mix together. So I hope that made sense. And like I said, you could do this with anybody as long as you both know your birth date, time, which a lot of people don't know, and place of birth. You can plot those together and see. Another thing that you can see here is, if we're going along the compatibility talk from a few minutes ago, the chart will also show, if you're just looking at your personal chart, it will show the beginning of the 7th house, which the 7th house is your field of soulmate energy, important one-on-one adult relationships, and the family that we choose, like through marriage, through, you know, those deep connections that just feel like family. So that's what the 7th house is about. And if you see what sign that house is in, it will show you what you project in a relationship. So for example, I'll use myself as an example. My 7th house is in Aries. Mine starts in Aries and then moves on to Taurus, but we want to see where it starts at. And that means that Aries is an action-oriented sign. It takes initiative, and that shows what I look for in a partner, someone that'll take initiative, and but it also shows what I project in a partnership. So when I'm interested, I do tend to take the initiative, make it kind of known. But on top of that, it's also something that with that partner, it'll, since Aries is the opposite of my rising sign, which is in Libra, it'll help me grow in certain areas of my life. So there are other areas that I might need to learn more about how to take initiative, take action, and have that energy of determination. So, you know, it kind of balances it out. And that doesn't mean that the only partner that you can have must be a sun or rising sign in that sign. Like for me, it doesn't have to be Aries. It doesn't have to be, you know, the start of your 7th house. It just means that somebody that has those characteristics, maybe they have a lot of Aries in their sign, or Mars, which rules Aries, if we're continuing with my example, would have like an important role in the chart if there's a lot of that energy, or if they just show that energy in their personality. Those are the things. They could, you know, not have any of the moon, sun, or rising sign in that sign, but as long as they show those characteristics, it's kind of like what you would be, what would help you in, or the characteristics that you would see in a soulmate energy. Now, the last thing that I want to mention for today, to not make this super long because I could go on and on, but also if you know what your moon sign is and that of your partners, the moon sign is our subconscious, our deep-seated feelings and thoughts, and how we act. My alarm. How we act when we are hurt, and how we show that we've been wounded. So what I really find interesting is that if you have that awareness and realize how you personally act based on your moon sign, and also just studying yourself, right? And you also know that of your partners, it can also help strengthen the connection, because a lot of people don't react the same way to feeling hurt or being wounded or in arguments or in heartbreak. So by knowing that, you can understand each other a lot better. For example, if your partner's moon sign acts like when they're hurt or when you guys have an argument of some sort, they just walk away and leave and just don't want to deal right now. And if your sign is one that wants to talk it out and, you know, shows that they care by fixing things in that moment, you might feel like that person doesn't care at all. You're like, oh, they're just off doing their own thing, listening to music, or, you know, whatever. But in reality, that's what they personally need to cope with all these emotions. And so with understanding that, then you can kind of, you know, chill out and notice that that is what they're doing. That is their natural kind of way to deal with these emotions. And then you guys can find a happy balance and work things out. Or for example, an example that I like to share from personal experiences, but if you have an issue with Scorpio, for example, a Scorpio moon sign, and they typically lash out at people when they're hurt, kind of wanting to put the hurt on them to kind of mask that they have been wounded in some kind of way. Versus a Virgo who lashes out at themselves, that could be a big clash and create big issues if you don't know that they're just reacting that way because they're hurt. So I hope that helps. And to help explain this a lot further, and just because I want to provide as much as I can, I have a little guidebook, little PDF for you all of the moon signs and how they act when they are hurt, as well as some recommendations, some oil recommendations, and just other tips to kind of soften that emotional issue. And yeah, I mean, if you don't know your moon sign, you can ask me. I could help you out with that. I do offer astrology readings, but you can also kind of see how you feel, because, for example, my moon sign is Leo, but I have so much energy. I have like 5 or 6 planets jam-packed next to each other in Virgo, and Leo is like right there, right next to it. So I associate more with the Virgo moon sign. So, you know, maybe before checking out what your moon sign is, look at this PDF and see how you feel like you react when you are hurt, or yeah, when you're hurt, and then compare it to your moon sign, and then see, you know, and then try out the recommendations. So to get that, you just have to go to thedreamingyogi.org/freebies. It's completely free. All you have to do is submit your email so that you can get access to my little library that I have of other guidebooks that I continue to add on to because I love sharing. And then you will also get emails about 2 times a month with additional information and more resources. So thank you for watching. I would love to hear any thoughts you have on this, any questions, feedback, what you want to hear more, and hopefully you're subscribed to this channel or following me on Instagram at _dreaming_yogi, and on YouTube, wherever you're seeing this, because I'm going to be putting it everywhere. But if you're subscribed to YouTube, you know, all my videos will be there, organized in neat playlists for you all. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.